it's often the decision required to push, yourself to the next level to gain that contract you're looking for, that job, the exposition you've ever been looking forward to. Oftentimes, what you need to get there is, how it's taking your career to the next level, doing the extra thing involved. And these are just things you just need to do. There are things I've put together here you need to do, to get to that point. Sometimes it's not like we are not good enough, but there are certain things we could do extra, and we'll be there within a short days possible time. Now let's look at the first one here, figuring out your end goals. Of course, before you go into or programming as a developer, or you pick up a project, you have to figure out the end goal. You have to envisage how the whole thing will look like, or the end of it should be. You have a clue of what you expected to achieve at the end. And you why do we have to find out or figure out our software goals? Many developers, very professional developers, set specific goals to build momentum in their career. Successful goals are often, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Might have heard of the word SMART. Might have heard of the word SMART. Can we see? Am I being heard, please?
Yes, you're clear.
You might have heard of the word SMART. It's also how to do with being specific, measurable, relevant, and keeping a time bound to achieving certain goals, set goals within a period of time. And these are things to consider when becoming a professional developer. And we all love challenges, but setting goals that are completely out of reach can be a recipe for disaster. Meaning that you have to set forth a goal that is attainable. Your goal should be something that is feasible and can be reached within certain period of sometimes a goal could be like a imaginary thing that you hope to come true, but at least we should have a clear vision, a clear pattern of what we want, at least even if we don't know the specific direction to take, but at least we should be able to say this is what I tend to achieve at the end of this project or journey. And let's look at selecting programming language. Of course, this is another thing you have to consider as a software developer. Now, oftentimes we are faced with what programming language should we choose? Should I go for C++, Python, like that, as a software developer? If you're a software developer in the first place, you should have gone past that state of should I go? Because now I'm not looking at starting the career. I'm not just looking at starting the career as on the tech or as a software developer. But how do we advance? How do we push it to the next level? So there's this contemplation of what language do I go in next. But one thing you come to understand oftentimes is when you are sound in a particular programming language, you can easily swap into another. Yes, that's why you have to be concretize on the first language you choose to follow, and after then you look at the project you intend to battle with. What language supports this project? You also look at the security of the project. Okay, what language got the best security for this project? And your certain things you look into too, the libraries available towards the project, resources available, then okay, this language support the whole of this. And also when you look at that, then you can now say to yourself, I'm going for C sharp, C sharp best support this or project. We have a good number of them. Python, we have which is firstly good for automation and machine learning. We have the Java, good for app development. We have the JavaScript, front end, back end. C sharp, you have it, which is the .NET. It's almost like a thing in vogue at the moment. And after choosing a programming language that supports your work, you go on to follow up by checking out for libraries and the best framework, because each this language oftentimes got frameworks that support each project. You got to look to what framework best support this language and music. So these are the things we look at. Within doing that, when you have this under your wicket, under your on control, then you can speed up the startup process of picking up that project. And after then we want to look at I need to get this stuff out. After then we want to look at developing practical experience, and of course you cannot do this thing better other than having practiced the whole thing or how it's been done. You might be good in certain sort of project under a language. Let's say when it comes to Python, you're good with web scraping automation, but that's where Python stuff, for instance. You can also think about how you use Python for other things. You can even try trying Python with web development, because there are frameworks that support Python, or wanting to create a website. There are frameworks that support that. So you can just say, okay, I'm moving out of the shell of using Python for just this, because we assume this is the best use of it. If it can be used by this, I have to go try this out, because the opportunity may come. So you get yourself ready for that part. So as a software engineer, you guys got to keep on practicing, practicing and practicing, and look out for the new the things in vogue. What's trending, what does the language support, what does the program support, and you go out practicing. It's very necessary, or we develop a practical experience, and that's the only way a very good way we can be better, very much better. They say practice make perfect. You can see. So after that, we want to look at okay, still on practicing, you say continuous learning is a hallmark to successful software development, just like I've said, as it allows you to retain, remain competitive and innovative in the field. Levels of security support also is critically important to consider security aspect while developing a software system. Inadequate consideration of security is a modern practice, also lead to verification for secure development. Therefore, neglecting security can result in the vulnerability and a breach, just like what I've said before now. And one other thing you have to look at here on our list is familiarizing ourselves with modern resource practice. It's very necessary. In fact, things have changed over time, and why things change, it's not good that you remain where you are. Sorry about that. It's not good that you remain where you are, lest you become a sort of desolate and forgotten. So it's necessary we familiarize ourselves with the relevant and modern practice. How well do we go about this? What's the faster way? What's the more more convenient way to do this? And maybe based on demands, you may find yourself in a situation whereby you're under pressure to fulfill certain goals, to fulfill and complete certain projects. Then you should be able to sort out or know the best channel to follow to attain that. Of course, familiarizing ourselves with modern practice cannot be underestimated, because that modern practice is the direction for technology in general in the sense that technology in a whole continue to advance. So it's necessary that we keep ourselves abreast with the latest events and innovations. So having looked at that, we'll just consider or look into a few libraries available for practice. Of course, library seems to be like the and then the warehouse to this language is where you go and you renew your energy, you want to renew your strength, and you have to find out what library and what is evoke in that library. What's the new gist, the new latest upgrade, and so on. So if we look at let's take a look at an open source library such as jQuery, JS open source, the C library, and the Expert, and also not neglecting the Python library, because I know we have a couple of Python developers here, and we have this TensorFlow and that SmartLib. Then we want to ask, what are these for us that are new, or we're not directly into programming? We want to ask a question of what actually are these libraries, what can we get there, and things like that. These libraries contains easy package of resources you need to navigate and pilot your your app, and these libraries makes our work, apart from being faster, they are the structure, because sometimes you want to do, for example, let's take for example what we have here, matplotlib, for instance. Matplotlib being a library makes it easy for you to carry out complex structure, interpretation and visualization, for instance, and you don't want to make use of matplotlib. How do you want to do that? Is it with the help of what we call, you want to make use of there's this stuff that people use in those days, and it could be tedious. Or you want to talk about you making complex calculation and you don't want to use the numpy or pandas, then you go about making a whole bunch of codes just to arrive at that answer, when you can just pick and plug your modules you derive from your libraries. That's just an example. Then we'll look at finding a good mentor. Also very essential to get it to that point you dream or wish to get to, having a good mentor. The case of a mentorship can never be overemphasized. Mentorship does a lot, and save you a lot of distress. Yes. Mentorship, with the help of mentorship, you tend not to fall into the pit or make mistakes, or which the predecessors might have made, or those people who had difficulties in the time past you will make that mistake, because they will tend to direct you and put you the right path. And of course, for you to have a good mentor, you also have to be ready to learn. Yes, because some mentors, you will be the one to push them, you will have to disturb them and things like that. So that's the part of mentorship. And before you choose a mentor, of course, you look at certain things, that attributes that the mentor house in himself. Yeah, you know if it's in line with your inspiration, your channel, your path you've chosen. Yes. So having said that, let's just take this wrap about mentors. See, great mentor knows how to, please, okay, wow. So great mentors knows Growth method knows how to challenge their mentees. The learning approach needs to fit the student needs and education level in the subject matter. If what the development mentor teaches you is too easy, you will perceive the process of learning as irrelevant and boring. On the other hand, if the content is way overhead, you are likely to get frustrated and discouraged to the point of giving up. A good mentor can hit the sweet spot for the experience to be both challenging and satisfying, and that is true. Now, after the community, very necessary also. All this helps in their own different ways, finding a community of like minds, community of people that are into what you do, and then you share experience. It's very necessary, because no man's an island. You get to share experience, and at the end you notice you're better as long as you keep on contributing to the community. Do not be afraid to make a mistake. The mistakes is inevitable. That is the way I see it. But the fear of the mistake, it's the problem. Where you fear of making a mistake, you likely stunt your growth. Yes, you move at the pace you want to move, because you may never try. Because if you wait for the perfect time, that if you wait for you wish to make everything perfect, you will be scared to venture into, to try that code out, to try that practice, to do that thing, and that will be, waging your progress. So we must not be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes will come. But the more we make mistakes, we're looking back into the mistakes and check where the faults from, then we can be better. That's one thing about programming. Hardly can anyone say you went into programming to the level of professionalism, professional, and he can count his mistake. Oftentimes, can't even count the mistakes. So, having said that, contribute to open source projects. That's also true, as similar to joining a community. When we join that community, we must contribute to open to projects. Even when we are not part of the community, when we say open source project, we can try it out, try our hands on it, and see their outcome. At the end, when you feel fulfilled, having tried and get something, results, tangible out of it, feel fulfilled at that point. Now, documentation is something that it's as important as it's so important. In fact, documentators save us a heck of stress and problem. Okay. I don't know. The coordinator is still there because of time. I don't know if I can finish this. Oh no. I've had my alarm already. Am I still being heard?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you very much. So documentation, it's a very important thing. Please, as we go about doing our, especially in our different teams, and I'm not just being particular about software developer, because we all techies, document. Please write down something so that whoever is coming next to me, that we have an easy movement. It's necessary we make documentations, even of the smallest possible things. It's very necessary, because some things we want to go into, maybe for the first time, we need to read about it surely. And if a company that is trying to market their products, or the software, new software, launch, had not made good documentation, it's become a problem for usage. Having said that, we have creating a portfolio.
Sorry, we are already out of time.
Create a portfolio. Yeah.
Yeah, hi Justin, sorry.
Yeah.
How many slides do you have left?
I guess it's less than 3.
Less than 3.
Yeah. Let's say 4 at most.
Okay, can we continue maybe perhaps next time when we do not really have presentations lined up?
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. It's already 9:45, so we'll have to go for stand-ups. All right, thank you, Faz, as well, for the presentations today. Thank you, everyone, for being available for today. Do have a productive day.
Thank you.